They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Apparently, we're finally back to eating the cats and eating the dogs again. On Thanksgiving, because of course it was Thanksgiving, Donald Trump went on a rant at 8:27 p.m., which is sundowning time for the Alzheimer in chief. In this rant, he starts off a very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct and plain stupid when it comes to immigration. Wow, way to stay on point on your Thanksgiving Day message. You made it about 20 words in before you fell off the barrel there. He then went on to say that the Somalian refugees are taking over Minnesota. Somali gangs are roving the streets looking for prey. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing either through fear, incompetence, or both. While the worst congresswoman in our country, Ilhan Omar, is wrapped up in her swaddling hijab and who probably came into the U.S. illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how badly she's treated. Yeah, nothing screams presidential, mature, uniting, taking down the tone of the political rhetoric. Remember that whole Charlie Kirk thing? We needed to calm things down. Yeah, yeah. I will be doing a Trump health reading. Not on this one. Maybe I'll do it on the Twin channel. Gary needs about 1,000 comments to review. No, this one's going to be on Tim Walz, actually. It'll be on a bit on Donald Trump with this post. But Tim Walz responded, "Show us the MRI scan." Let's just talk, lay all our cards on the table. Trump goes after Walz. Remember, Tim Walz's son has challenges in that regard, whether it's autistic or whatnot. And to call Walz seriously retarded is, all I gotta say is Donald Trump is very lucky. He's a keyboard warrior. That's what we call people. It's like a chihuahua behind a window, fierce and seems like it's the biggest, meanest thing in the world. The minute you open the door, so that there isn't a barrier between it and its prey, it runs hiding. Trump's the same way and has always been that way. But the only person I've seen him be rude to their face is President Vladimir Zelensky. Otherwise, he's always fawning and falling all over himself. Because he's a coward. He's a bully and a coward. And always has been. All right. Yeah, I'm a bit irritated by this. So let's jump in here. What is going on with Donald Trump's mental health that he felt the need to post this on Thanksgiving? And why is he going after immigration and Tim Walz? Is just to pump up his poll numbers, which are sagging horribly, and he just figures this is the red meat that MAGA wants on Thanksgiving after eating the white meat on the turkey? Who knows? Come on down. Let's take a look. This, again, entertainment purposes only. What is motivating Donald Trump to go after Somali immigrants and Tim Walz in Minnesota? King of Pentacles. Okay. This can be the arrogant, wealthy person that says, "I've got a lot. What are you doing for me?" This can also represent American oligarchs. And I'm going to point out to you that the video I did last night about Hegseth and the illegal orders and will there be an impeachment in the future for Hegseth and Trump. Somebody pointed out in the comments that it was the Washington Post article that broke, naming multiple sources saying about this illegal order, this order that was given by Hegseth. And does that mean that Bezos okayed it? And the answer is yeah, he absolutely okayed it. Months ago, probably over the summer, I was asking when Donald Trump was going to go, and I was getting cards like this. It's when the oligarchs want him gone that Donald Trump will go, because their money drives the government, and we're going to go from an autocrat oligarchy to a broligarchy, if you will. Basically, what Russia has. And the broligarchy, I think, they're turning up the heat on the pot that the frog is slowly boiling in. And in previous videos, I said what you will find out is they will start leaking information about Trump that casts Trump in a negative light, because you can't just hit MAGA with hard facts and truth like that. They will snap. They don't know what to do with that. You have to slowly introduce doubt into them. You have to turn down the propaganda machine like Fox News. You have to turn down the volume on that, but then start turning up the volume on Trump's missteps. And certainly Trump has provided a lot of missteps recently. Nothing he's doing really seems to be working. Now, again, one of the things they could emphasize if they chose to is that Trump is saying he and Hegseth are striking these boats to stop drug trade from killing millions of Americans, yet he just pardoned a leader of a country who was running hundreds of millions of dollars in drugs. What message are you sending? Just like this Thanksgiving Day message. You think it's about to applaud American citizens and patriots, and next thing you know, it's attacking immigrants. On Thanksgiving. The one where we celebrate Americans coming to the United States, where the native people were here, and the soon-to-be Americans were the immigrants. Patriot. Why did Donald Trump do this? What's going on? This could be Trump with his money or his health here, because this can also be health. I think he's trying to stay appealing to me. He's trying to stay appealing to said oligarchs. And he's going after the one thing that he still thinks seems to work, and that's the immigration card. There's stories already coming out about the missiles hitting the drug boats and causing problems. So now he's trying to change the narrative. And he's going to blame immigrants as the problem for everybody in the United States. Remember, he's opened the door for an impeachment. Sorry, this is long. I will get to the reading here. Understand that when Congress voted to release the Epstein files, and it was all but one in the House and the entire Senate voted to release the Epstein files, it was a big FU to Trump. Okay? And it's a warning that he can be taken out, because Congress can come together united against Trump. And Trump, I think, is starting to panic, especially if you start losing the money. That's going to make these politicians even bolder. So he has to go after the immigrants in the United States to help justify his attack on people outside of the United States. He needs his base activated, engaged, and enraged to try and intimidate these Congress people from proceeding further. The reason why Congress could do it is that a majority of MAGA wants these Epstein files released, because they foolishly think that Trump is not implicated in anything, and it's just the Bill Clintons of this world that are. So he's trying to get his base so frothed up about immigrants that Congress dare not impeach him for high crimes and misdemeanors over basically the illegal killing orders that he and Hegseth had put out there. So he's got to get out there and be seen messaging on this topic. In the past, you got the Hermit card. Two layers to this one. One, information being found out about Trump and his orders. And he has seen that the immigration card has worked in the past. But again, this is the past. It's not the path forward. current situation is the King of Swords. Trump is in a, honestly, he's in a do or die situation at this point. He has to show that he's in charge, and he's trying to make things very black and white. The oligarchs are starting to feel their oats, and they're starting to be in charge. So this is an oligarch reading and a Trump reading, and the battleground is immigrants, whether they're on in the United States or on the waters of the Eastern Pacific and the Caribbean. That's where the battle is. Overarching energy is the Five of Wands. Who's going to generate the energy and the buzz? Trump is trying to activate MAGA. He needs his patriots to come and fight like they did for him on January 6, 2021. The oligarchs are trying to start a beehive of activity in Congress and get Congress to do their job. And that activity is going to help push along impeachment proceedings, 25th Amendment, pardons, something. Something is changing. The lesson to be learned is the Ace of Cups. The new relationships, the new passions, the new drive to do things. I think the oligarchs, they've had enough, and they're starting to move. Trump is trying to raise the passions of his base to protect him. What we have is a power struggle, a tug of war here. Out comes the Nine of Coins. It goes to the oligarchs. The coins are the wealthy people of this world. The things of value. You could think of Congress being like this. And, they're getting their money from these guys, from the oligarchs, telling them what to do. Donald Trump is a lame duck president. His lame duck session has started. You can also look at the economy. His base is activated, but for the wrong reasons. He's trying to take their anger and direct it towards brown people. But right now, they're just trying to survive. Again, note, it's a Thanksgiving Day message. The one where we're supposed to be thankful for the bounty we've had. It's a harvest festival. It's the U.S. version of a harvest festival. And, he turns it into an attack. The physical therapist I watch on TikTok, the guy with the PhD and 14 years experience, covered this topic. And he pointed out that it was posted up at 8:30 in the evening, when sundowning has already begun. And he basically said, anything after 5 o'clock, watch Trump's post, you'll see they become unhinged very quickly because he's sundowning due to dementia, Alzheimer's, and things along those lines. Not to mention all the myriad of health issues, which is why I will do a Trump health reading, because I have read multiple times in the past that right around the time of the solstice, he's no longer viable. Whether that is politically viable, like he's the ultimate lame duck, whether he's out of office or, pushing up the daisies, he's not an issue. And I want to read on that again because we're getting close to that, and I want to see if the energy's changed. I hate changing. I don't want to do the reading. Now, here's the reason why I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the reading because if I throw on it and then it looks all like sunshine and roses, then you're going to be like, David, you promised us that he was going to be gone on the solstice. And all I could say is energy changes. The way the path is going, that was going to happen. If I throw it again and it says that, yeah, he's going, that'll be like the 5th time I've read on it and saw it coming. And if it's neither one, then I'm going to say, well, I think it's still on target. It's out of my hands. That's why I say don't believe the ravings of a mad tarot card reader on YouTube. Oh, dear. Just throw the cards and interpret it. Okay, Tim Walz. Tim. He went out there and said, show us the MRI results. What is going on with those MRI results? Because that's the right thing to say. Because it basically says, I'm dismissing everything you say as literally as the ravings of a madman and a lunatic. Show us your MRI results, patriot. What do those MRI results look like? His health is very much on the decline. As it was pointed out by multiple sources, I swear there will be a reading in here. You do not give somebody an MRI as part of routine medical examinations. That's not a thing. You do MRIs for a reason. It's to track things, to track deteriorating health. And although Trump has never said what the MRI was for, I think nobody here would be surprised if it was a brain scan. And the thought is that they're monitoring his Alzheimer's progression. They did it in his first annual physical. They did it again on his second annual physical. Health declining. And you have to make a choice at some point. I was asking about the brain scan, not Tim Walz. And Tim Walz just pointed it out. But it's like his health is deteriorating and there's nothing you can do about it. This is just the way it is, and it's progressive. It's ongoing. They cannot stop it. They can't even pause it. It's going. They might be able to slow it down. But I think this is saying you can't even slow it down at this point. Oh, God. And there's your brain injury. The Nine of Wands. September. This is the stroke this is that big stroke event that he had in September that we don't know about because, he just went silent on social media for a week like he always does, No, this is the brain injury. This is what happened back then. And that's really what started his health decline. Again, they pump this guy up full of all sorts of stuff to keep him moving. And then you keep his public facing moments very short. But we've also seen him falling asleep in the White House. He fell asleep during the 9/11 thing and his mouth was drooping. There was a video recently of him walking around the White House, kind of swinging his leg over and crossing over. It doesn't look good. There was another one of him walking up to the helicopter that he uses, and I swear to God, he looks like he's drunk, leaning on Melania, and it's because I don't think he has very good balance. As that physical therapist says, he has weakness in his right hamstring, likely due to a left-sided stroke, and these are all symptoms of it. His gait is shorter, his stance is wider. This is a guy who looks at dementia patients and Alzheimer patients, and he's seeing all the signs there of this. Talking about the MRI stroke, there is a flurry of people. This is almost like the sprint to the end. First off, this is what Trump's brain looks like. It's just a massive misfiring of electrical impulses between brain cells. It's chaos in there. But it's also chaos in the White House. Because while Trump is not there, it's a free-for-all. Stephen Miller, Besant, and these others, absolute free-for-all going on in the White House. Now remember, Trump is the one that's a king according to the United States Supreme Court. These guys aren't. So as Trump goes down, the chaos ensues and increases. Overarching energy is the Page of Swords. There will be more information coming out via whistleblowers about Trump's health. The Page of Swords. Swords are about intellect. And I think this is the regression of his intellect to that of a child. The lesson to be learned is the Ace of Wands. With the stroke and everything like that, somebody's going to take charge here. Expect that J.D. Vance or somebody is going to see that opportunity here to take. This is like somebody taking over. But this is also, outcome is the Eight of Swords. I'm not sure what to go with this one. It's an opportunity. But the outcome is the Eight of Swords. Trump, this is that card that I've mentioned, that picture Trump having a massive stroke where he's now a prisoner in his own brain, where his body doesn't work, and all he does is sit there in a chair drooling into a cup. And all that stinking thinking that he has, he's left with his own thoughts, his own misery, and he's not able to get up and do anything. Right now, the country's held hostage by this guy. The doctors aren't sharing the information with us, but, this whole administration is tied to Trump. I was asking what's the deal with the MRI, what it's going to show us. It's going to show us his mental decline, and that he's stuck, he's trapped. He's not getting better. He's not going to take a third term with the presidency, even though he put something out on Truth Social with a de-aged picture of himself. For Trump 2028, that's just ego-feeding nonsense. Do not fall for it. Don't get all worked up for it. This guy is not long for this world, and he's even shorter for the presidency. Have talks progressed? Not started, because I think they've already started. Have talks progressed into moving Trump out of office before the winter solstice? Have talks progressed in moving Trump out of office before the winter solstice? For Carter. Two of coins. Decline in health, but this card came up a couple of times during the strikes. It's like this is an opportunity for the strikes that are happening on vessels overseas. But definitely there's a decline in health. And the infinity loop is wisdom. Nine of basically, it's like Trump is one stroke away from being kicked. But I think the talk started in September, looking at his declining health. Yeah, because they know he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. 7 of Cups. And the Judgment card. Time to move. Gathering the troops. Underneath the Lover's card. Yeah, this is like, to me, this is pushing up the daisies, looking at heaven, so to speak. But this is also the uniting of something new to come in as that health goes on for the crazy man who's had the strokes, and it's time to move on. Those talks are progressing, and they speed up, and there's more of them, and they speed up as he shows more decline, more type of stroke type behavior, more of his craziness causes more people in positions of power to move. I'm sticking by. Well, let's ask. Because I asked if will Trump be removed from office by the winter solstice? Those of you who stuck around this long, or I should say, not removed from. Will Trump no longer be a political influence? Will he really no longer be relevant as the president of the United States come the winter solstice? That's a way to sort of tamp it down, because I don't care how it looks. Is he politically irrelevant basically by the winter solstice of 2025? 9 of coins. It's up to this looks like Congress. Also female nursing health type thing. Queen of Cups, keeping things quiet. 7 of Swords, sneaking around. The World card, things coming to an end. And then there's the 4 of Swords, the sundowning, the keeping quiet. I'm still saying yes on it. The reason for the long pause, I'm almost wondering if Trump has taken his money to visit a wealthy priest, snuck out. Basically, he is sneaking out, clandestine, going somewhere across the world, and it's being kept hush-hush. This is like, his early Christmas present to himself is going for a visit to Saudi Arabia and never returning. if it's not him trying to escape, which is what I think it is, if we were looking, is he going to be irrelevant? This is the moneyed people stealing things for themselves, keeping it quiet, bringing things to an end as they work behind the scenes on it. So it's basically, yeah, he's politically irrelevant. If decisions are being made, it's being made by people with money. The oligarchs have made it in. The big money has made it in. And they've stolen the government. We don't talk about it, but it's already happened. It's like, what's the term? A fake accompli or something like that. It's done. It may not be announced, but it's done. It could also be that Trump, at that point, has left the country. We're only 3 weeks away from that. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Again, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. I don't like wish casting. I don't want to get your hopes up, but every time I read on this, this is what I get. This one was a little bit more nebulous because it didn't really answer the question yes or no. It was giving me, it moved past that. It's kind of like, yeah, stupid. This is why. It went straight to this is why, not the yes or no part of it. And that's sometimes the inside of the card. It's a little frustrating. I ask a direct question and then I get an answer to a different question. The question that they felt like I should have asked. And maybe that's just something to me to say, hey, you've already read on it. Trust what you've got. Nothing's changed. Here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Okay. I'm okay with that. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video.